Okay, looks like we got a pretty normal gas pressure reading right there. See what happens when we fire it up. So I had to jumper the flame rollout sensor because it's bad, and then we're going to fire it up and see how that does with the pressure drop. Alright, pressure drop was a little bit. Yeah, you got a pretty significant drop actually. It went from 8 to below 5. The issue we're having here with this heater has everything to do with gas pressure. Keeps having a flame roll out. The sensor inside here keeps getting burned out, and the reason being the gas pressure was too low. I did install this hard pipe. It was flex line out here, and then we're still having the same issue. Then I went inside the house and noticed that they have flex line coming to this point, and it's also teed off and sharing the line with the gas water heater. So the supply issue is the problem, and that's pretty much it. We'll have the gas company come out and fix the pressure, and we will remove the flex line on the inside of the house as well. When I first came out here to diagnose this heater, the gas came on and I could smell the gas. The blower came on, but nothing ever ignited, nothing lit up. So I checked the igniter, which looked pristine, actually looked great. However, the gas pressure, when I checked the gas pressure, this dial spun around twice. Clearly there's a problem with the gas here, so I went ahead and shut the valve off. But yeah, this heater here was having some issues, and it shut off while it was already on and heating, and then gave a error igniter code, which tells me that there's an issue with the gas. So here's what I did. I came out here and I checked it with my manometer, which is essential for diagnosing heaters. And when I plugged it in to this old regulator, first of all, I mean, I could tell when I got here, I saw this, you know, this was on here, and this is the new one I just installed. I knew right away that was going to be a problem, but I went ahead and tested it, and when I tested it, it spun all the way around, and that told me for sure that that valve is a problem. So really all you got to do here is real simple. You know, you shut off your gas, and with these new ones here, you just want to make sure that the vent is facing downward, and if it's not facing downward, ideally, like this was actually this way, so it wasn't going to face downward for me. What I had to do is unscrew these bolts here, and then you can twist it, and then that way you could get the vent to face downward from rain and wind. And so as you can see down here, hopefully you can see the arrow pointing that way for the gas flow. And you got to make sure you put this good pipe sealant and only on the metal threads. You don't want to plug anything up in there. That should do it. I replaced this guy's heater probably about a few months ago. It's a master temp, and everything was fine, but now suddenly it's not working. Now the heater just attempted to try to fire up, but it didn't. You can hear the gas open, can smell the gas, but nothing ignited. So I'm gonna assume that the igniter's bad. Problem is, this is a new heater. I just put this heater in. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and flip this over, see what it tells me on the other side of the board here. So you can hear it open the gas. I can smell gas. Nothing fires up. Alright, so it's that igniter. Now,
in order to get in here and get to the igniter, you got to open up the door panels. See in there? Just unscrew the 4 bolts here, and then underneath here is some wing nuts that you got to loosen up, and then you'll be able to flip this board over. So after its 3rd attempt and failure, it just shut down. So we'll flip it over and show you what's up on the back side. Okay, and you can see here, error igniter. Oh, it did say error igniter, I believe. So yeah, there it is, error igniter. Then it gives the temperature. So let's go check this igniter out. Put it over, and usually you can get some codes lit up over here on the board, but there's nothing lit up. So what we're gonna do right down here is the igniter, and you got to unscrew those bolts and pull that thing out. We're gonna use this right here. All right, pull that out. It looks a little bit bad, not all that bad. Really weird. And I swear, actually, when I replaced this heater, there was an issue with the igniter also on that one. All right, here's a new one. Yeah, if you check it out right here, you can see damage to this igniter. Fired up. So it's on and working after replacing this guy right here, the igniter. So I don't know how, but somehow the igniter went bad. It's only been a few months since I put this heater in, and previously the old heater that I replaced also had a bad igniter. I think it damaged 2 igniters. So I thought about it for a little bit, and I'm thinking really the only thing that comes to mind that might be causing this specifically is some gas pressure issue. Now, to use a manometer, first what you want to do is turn off the gas supply going to the heater, and then on the heater gas valve regulator, you're going to remove the plug that's in there on the right hand side. So it's this plug. You're just going to remove it from the gas valve regulator there and put in this nipple here that comes with your manometer. You're then going to take the other end of it. Now, got this still hooked up on here, and we turn the heater on. We're just going to see what the drop is after the heater tries to kick on. Yeah, so it went from 8 to 6. That's a pretty big drop, actually. That's not too good, and that could be why this one was blowing out the igniters, because they've got a little bit of a low gas pressure here. So 8 is a little bit low, and then that 3-inch drop is pretty low. Shouldn't be more than like 2.5.